From sea to shining sea. You know, when I thought about this weekend, this holiday weekend, there's part of me that's conflicted, and I have to say that. I love my country. I absolutely love my country. I love the individuals in my country. I'm not so proud of my country right now because of some of the decisions that have been made over these last few weeks, especially. But when I hear that song and when I look out here and when I see the people on that short video, it reminds me that it's not about me. It's about us. It's about our country. It's about each individual as a part of the community of the United States and part of the world, because it's not only just this country that's insular, that doesn't connect to anything else. We connect to the world. We're not just from sea to shining sea anymore. And one of the things that has always been, in not only this country, but any country, if you look at your history long enough, we've been born out of some sort of battle. We've been born out of something from the inside out in independence, looking for independence, looking for a change, looking for something, or from the outside in, where countries have been taken over by other countries or peoples have been taken over by other peoples. So we're born from conflict. And I wonder if that's something that stays with us, that if we're not in conflict, something doesn't feel right. I hope not. I honestly hope not. And I honestly hope that we learn as we grow. I still hope that we do. But just like our country was born from the inside out, from the independence, looking at this is not fair. What do we do to make it fair? What do we need to represent all people, not just a portion of people, but all of people, no matter your religion, no matter your race, no matter your viewpoint, no matter what, to represent all. As I look out here, as I look at our friends on Zoom, each one of us has had our own days of independence, our own freedom day from the inside out. And what is that for each one of us? Each one of us is different. Each one of us has come along this path, come along this journey, come along our own growth based on changes around us from the outside in, but also from the inside out. We've all celebrated our day or days of freedom. And what is it for you? What was it for you? For me, one of the days was first walking into a spiritualist church, which I never really knew anything about. And I saw somebody who's on this video Zoom today for the first time, and it changed my life. I can look at that and say that was a freedom day for me. I can look at my marriage divorce, which was very difficult, but in retrospect, I can look at that and say that was a moment of freedom for me, because I wouldn't be here. I know I wouldn't be here doing this. I know ISC wouldn't be here doing what we do if that didn't happen. What is your day of freedom? For some, it's a change of career. It's a change of job. It's a change of focus. For some people, it's a change of friendships, leaving one set of friends and finding your own tribe, whatever that tribe is that fits who you are as a person right now. For some, it may be a change of physical location, where we move to a different place because where you were living no longer made sense, for whatever that is. These days, these moments of freedom, we should be celebrating every single moment of every single day. And what is it for you? Think about it for a moment. If I said to you, Kim, what is your day of freedom? What moment of freedom? Could you think of something? Could you think of something? Could you think of something, Barb? Helen, could you think of something? Lynn, could you think of something? We all have those things that are in us that we, during the time that maybe we went through, just like a revolution, just like whatever you want to call those words of change, we remember them. Do we celebrate them? Do we say, I am the person I am now because of those revolutions that went on within me, around me? Not the country, but ourselves. And as we are going through those time periods, just like we're going through difficult political times now in not only this country, countries around the world, it's a time period. It's not the entire thing. So just like that first day I went into a spiritualist church, that started a domino effect for what we're doing today. Each and every one of you here now came for your own personal reason. And you stayed for your own personal reason. Everybody who's gone through, sorry, we have a little gnat flying around right now. Maybe that wasn't the right thing to do, but I shushed him away. For everything that we're doing, for everything that we are, it's come out of some change, and change is not easy. Change is not easy for the most part. I know at the family I grew up in, change was not easy. We liked everything the way it was. God forbid, my parents bought our house in 1955, I think it was, and the same curtains are still up. So talk about not changing, right? Don't like change. I came out of not liking change. It wasn't comfortable for me. And what I've had to learn is the only way to move forward is with change. It's a hard lesson, but that was a moment of independence. That was a moment of freedom for me not to feel everything has to be the same in order for me to feel safe. So therefore, what do? Do we change? Do we move forward? Don't we move forward? That's an individual decision. But again, just like independence, just like any other huge change, it's momentary. What we do after that is what makes a change in our life. So even during this period of unrest, of difficulty, of change, remember, it is a momentary thing. What we do with that is what is important. So our celebration of our own independence, the celebration of those moments in our life where we maybe didn't think we could do it. Maybe we were afraid. Maybe we had everybody around us saying, don't do that. Don't change that. You can't do that. Did we listen? Maybe. And maybe that change had to come at a different point. Maybe it's still coming. Maybe it's not there yet. But that's under our control. That's under our control. Because everybody can say no to us. But if we say from within yes, then that change is made. So our independence is made up of a lot of revolution, a lot of difficulty, a lot of upheaval, a lot of the volcanic kind of explosions that rock our world. And then what we do with them is really what matters. Because change is always going to be. Change is always going to be. What do we do to make that our independence moment? What is our personal responsibility within that? That's only something each one of us can answer for ourselves. But know that we're not alone when we do it. Know that by having community, by having country, by having whatever that bigger source is, by having the spirit work by having God. We don't do it alone. And when we make those decisions of change, of moving forward, and we look back, just take that for a second. Think of your own independent moment or moments, because hopefully we've all had more than one. And look back before that moment. Would you want that life again? That same life? Would you want it? And if you do, you make the decision to find it. And if you don't, then you've learned something different. You've learned in a world that sometimes can be extremely difficult. At times we look around and say, where's the love? Where's God? And as soon as we say, where's God? We have to say, where are we in the process? Because God is within all. The love, the light, the energy, we are a part of. So we can't blame God. I think God gets a bad rap for a lot of stuff, right? The weather, wars, we had a bad day. God gets blamed for a lot of things. But we can't. We've got to look at ourselves as part of the solution, part of the change, part of the God-like love that we can bring to a situation. But again, mostly to ourselves. What do we have to bring to ourselves in order to celebrate our independence from whatever that is? And I think one of the things that, because we're always learning, aren't we? We're always learning. We're always have the potential to learn. Let me put it that way. I have to say for myself, I don't always learn. I have to get knocked over the head a few times before I get it. But we always have the potential to learn. And by using that learning, by using that potential, by bringing in the possibility of change is change, but doesn't have to be scary. Can we use it in a way that brings us to a different thought process, a different place in our being? Then we have an opportunity to not only do that then for ourselves, but perhaps help teach others. We can't do somebody's path for them. We can't do the journey. For those parents out there, we've tried that with our kids, right? We found we can't do it, right? They have to do their own path, their own journey. We have to do our own. So we can't do somebody's journey for them. But what we can do is support them in their looking, in their seeking, in their way of finding their independent moments that then they can celebrate. So what I would say to everybody, and I've been saying it to myself these past few weeks a lot, is that let me look for those things that I know I can control, that I know I can be a part of, things I know I can change or want to change, and then put my energy in that. And so tomorrow here in the States is 4th of July. A lot of celebrations, picnics, barbecues, day off from work, yay, right? Yay on that. A lot of fireworks, whatever it is that you're doing. But please don't forget, while you celebrate Independence Day, to celebrate your independence, your strengths, your journey, your explosions that have happened that have gotten you to where you are now. And then when we're there, we can hold out our hand to somebody else and say, do you need some support? Do you need some love? Do you need me? So tomorrow, while you're doing all of that good stuff, just remember how far you've come and those moments that took you here. So Happy Independence Day. Happy Independence moments. And love to all of you. Thank you.